Hi everybody, and today you find the exiled yellow belly with Lynn, and we're in Wapping. Yeah, we're in Wapping in London. We've decided to come here because we heard that there was a nice little pub crawl going on which takes in all the smugglers and ghosts and pirates of the area on the side of the Thames. So we're here today, and the first pub on our call is going to be the Town of Ramsgate, which has got a great history. And as we go round, I'm going to tell you about it and tell you the history of these places. So we are now going to the Town of Ramsgate, not only to tell you the history, but we're going to sample some of the drinks. And when we finish that, we're going to come out and we're going to head to the next place, which I will tell you about when we get there. Okay, talk to you later. So here I am at the Town of Ramsgate pub in Wapping High Street. Originally built in 1533, it was called the Red Cow. It was later renamed the Ramsgate Old Town, and since 1811 it's been called the Town of Ramsgate. Down the side of this historical pub is the Grade 2 listed and very historical Wapping Old Stairs. In 1545, Captain Thomas Blood was apprehended down this very alley after stealing the crown jewels from the Tower of London. But rather than having him executed, Charles II, known for his sense of humour, pardoned the captain and even gave him some land in Ireland. Very strange. On the left, in the cellars of the pub, prisoners were kept in cells in the cellar while they awaited transportation to Australia. Now, as you can see, the tide is out at the moment, but the steps are quite slippy, so I put the camera away until I reached the bottom, and very wisely Lynn stayed at the top. Now, here I am on the small beach where you will often find mudlarks hunting for coins, clay pipes, etc. when the tide is out. Now, Execution Dock was in this area between here and the Prospect of Whitby pub, slightly further up the river. But most historians now agree it probably was where Wapping's Overland Station is now built. Now, I'm going to come back down the alley later and show you what it looks like when the tide's in. But if you are a Doctor Who fan, you may recognise the stairs as they once featured in an episode of Doctor Who starring Tom Baker called The Talons of Weng Chan. Now, we've come out of the Town of Ramsgate, crossed the road and walked through the small park to our next pub. Well, it is actually now a lovely French bistro called Bardos, but was originally the Turk's Head, which I heard was where the condemned prisoners received their last drink on the way to Execution Dock. But unfortunately, I now believe the original Turk's Head was on Wapping High Street between the Town of Ramsgate and Execution Dock. But it does have a claim to fame. The fight scene from the film about the Cray twins, Legend, starring Tom Hardy, was filmed here in the bar area. So maybe not the pub I hoped for, but it does a very mean cocktail, and according to the plaque on the outside, it has its own claim to fame. Right, hi everybody. Now the plan for today was to come to Wapping and do a story of all the pirates and ghosts and everything, and at the same time do a pub crawl of the few pubs that are on the embankment. Now, we've done 2 pubs, and I've got to say, we're going to have to abandon this episode until tomorrow, because we've only done 2 pubs so far, and after a large rum and coke, a pint of Doom Bar, 2 Aperol spritzes and a mojito, and two Prosecco's, Lynn, yeah, and mojito and whatever else.
Oh.
We are finding it a little bit difficult to carry on with doing the story. So what we're going to do now is we're going to skip Captain Kidd's and we're going to go off to the Prospect of Whitby to have our fish and chips and some more drinks, and we're going to come back and finish the story in the morning. So with that, we'll talk to you later. Won't we, Lynn?
Yeah, we will.
We will.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
we will.
So as promised, here we are, fit and well, the next morning, back at Wapping Old Stairs, next to the Town of Ramsgate pub, because there is still more history I haven't filled you in on yet, which concerns the infamous hanging judge, Judge Jeffries. Judge George Jeffries came to prominence under the reign of King James II. During the Glorious Revolution of 1688, when James fled the country, Jeffries stayed in London too late and was caught in this very pub next door, trying to escape disguised as a sailor, hoping to catch a ship abroad. He was recognised by someone who ironically had been spared the noose by the judge. He died in the Tower of London in 1689 before he could face trial. Now, much as I hate to leave our prime seat here at the Town of Ramsgate, we now need to move on to our next point of call, the Captain Kidd. Now we are just approaching the lovely Captain Kidd pub, named after the infamous pirate hanged at Execution Dock in 1701. He had to be hanged twice, as the first time the rope broke. His body was gibbeted over the River Thames as a warning to other would-be pirates for 3 years at Tilbury Point. The Captain Kidd is a great pub with loads of Kidd memorabilia and a great terrace overlooking the Thames. It became a pub in the 1980s, where before that it was a coffee warehouse. So now we are approaching one of the most famous pubs in London and arguably the oldest riverside pub in the city. First built in 1520, it was named the Pelican, but was known locally as the Devil's Tavern because it was a regular haunt of pirates, smugglers, river thieves and local criminals. So now we are going to take a walk down the famous Pelican Stairs, something you would probably never have done 300 years ago, with all the cutthroats and thieves going up and down this small alley with their ill-gotten gains. The pub itself was rebuilt after a fire in the 18th century and renamed after a ship called the Prospect, registered out of Whitby. It was frequented by such famous names as Charles Dickens, Samuel Johnson, Samuel Pepys and the artists Turner and Whistler. It has a number of ghosts, including Judge Jeffries himself, who apparently liked to watch the hangings from the pub's balcony, but my personal favourite would be Mary Frith, also known as Moll Cutpurse. A larger-than-life pickpocket and madam in 17th century London, known for her flamboyant dress and sharp wit. She was also hard as nails, a skilled fighter who had many fights with men. She was a popular figure known for her charity work and is said to have died in the pub in 1659 and is seen walking through the pub flamboyantly dressed. Judge Jeffries is seen sitting at a table drinking a glass of wine. The ghost of a young woman is seen crying in the ladies' toilets, and the ghost of a man is seen hanging from the gallows outside. Now that concludes, I think, Lynn and I's historical pub crawl of Wapping. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.